Over here, I do tell you about the class in the object-oriented programming. My dear, a class is a concept over there, and it is a logical concept, and a class is a design of an entity which defines its core properties or attributes and states or behaviors. It means, my dear, we do represent an entity in the form of a class over there in the object-oriented programming. And we do include the properties or attributes of an entity, and we do include the states or behavior of the entity within the class over there. A class contains properties or attributes and states or behaviors in the form of data members and data functions respectively. What does it mean, my dear? I do tell you, the properties or attributes of an entity are being represented as the data member in the class,
Data members.
and the states or behaviors of the entity are being
As
represented
data function.
in the state of data functions in the class. Are you getting, my dear? These points are to be
Yes, sir.
noted over here. For example, my dear, the example of the class might be the human being over here. Okay, why do we take a human being as a class? Mr. Bezad, can you answer me? Why we have taken a human
Yes,
being as a class over here?
yes, sir, because a human being is an entity
Yes, a
and the
human
class
being
is the
is
design
an
of
entity.
entity.
Yes, thank you very much. Your answer is correct, my dear. A human being is an entity from the real world, and we do represent each entity in the object-oriented programming in the shape of the class. And the example of a class is a human being. And the notable thing over here is that we do represent an entity in the form of a class. And a class is a logical concept, my dear. My dear, another example of a class might be the male class. All right? Did you get
Yes, sir,
why I have taken male entity as a class over here?
because it is also an entity.
And we do represent each entity of the real world in the form of the class. Okay, we do represent an entity in the form of a class. And for a class, Mr. Bezad, a class is a logical concept. Okay, Mr. Bezad, another example of the class
Yes, sir.
may be the female. And the female is actually an entity from the real world. And we do represent each entity in the object-oriented programming in the shape of class or in the form of class. And notable thing again, I'm telling you, we do represent an entity in the form of what? The class. And the class is what? Yes.
A logical concept.
Thank you very much.